I watched hundreds of spiritual videos. I knew all the buzzwords: 5D consciousness, ascension symptoms, galactic federation, baby. But I was still broke, struggling, and unable to figure out what the hell I was trying to do with my life. It wasn't until I stopped watching that everything started to change. I quit scrolling, I quit waiting, and I started taking action with my life. And I want to share with you how you can begin to do the same exact thing. My name is Bootsy Greenwood. I've helped hundreds of people implement spiritual principles at a practical level and transform their life. So in this video, I want to share with you one simple thing that you can start to do right now and begin to shift your life and get off the hamster wheel of consuming spiritual content. The first point I want to make is that spiritual entertainment is not spiritual practice. It's hard to hear this sometimes because you hear all of the vernacular and you know the thing they're going to say next: as above, so below, as within, so without, as it is in heaven, so be in the earth, or whatever the lingo is of the day, whatever that du jour line is, right? That people are preaching on YouTube. That's kind of stuck in your head. You can even predict what they're going to point out next and follow along point by point with the Hermetic principles or whatever. But this isn't us actually practicing spirituality. It's just us taking on more and more content. And while it is better to have positive things in your mind, positive content that you're consuming, than, say, watching doom-scrolling conspiracy videos, much healthier for your psyche, we still want to be able to open up and make some shifts in our lives. And in order to do that, we have to create space. I think kind of what happens to us is we start to scroll through social media and we're like, yeah, I resonate with that. And we keep getting all these dopamine hits, which are great. They feel good. But consumption is not implementation. And so we wind up kind of getting rah-rah and maybe even puffed up a little bit by just re-engaging with this stuff. And we don't actually take the time and space to explore ourselves at a much deeper level, which is really what spirituality is supposed to be about. Watching isn't doing, insight isn't integration. You could memorize the Bhagavad Gita, but if you don't know how to sit still, open up, and meditate, well, it's not really doing much good. So if videos won't change your life, what will? Well, first of all, I'd like to throw out there that being in a community and an environment where people are actively helping one another achieve and pursue their own goals and helping them with resources is a great way to start to propel yourself forward. So I would recommend hopping in our school group. It's absolutely free, and engaging in there to get a better idea of what other people are doing and start aligning yourself with other people who have similar goals, values, and dreams as you. So go ahead and hop in the school group and we'll see you in there. So here's the one thing that made all the difference. You see, guys, clarity comes from commitment, not more information. The breakthrough came when I picked one tool, and I dedicated myself to that tool. Now, this specific tool, it might be different for you. You might enjoy meditation. You might use walking. You might use chanting. You might use yoga. There's no specific rule for what it is that you choose as a practice, other than that practice needs to be consistent. For me, it was something called morning pages. If you don't know what morning pages are, it's when you just free write every single day in the morning when you wake up. And I have a whole video on it and how to implement it properly. You can check that out. But this particular practice was like a meditation for me. And it was like a mirror for me very much, where I got to see what my thoughts actually were, just naturally like coming out of me. And I began to identify parts of myself and basically integrate those parts so that I could feel a healthy wholeness of who I was. Still an ongoing thing. I'm still doing that process every single day, and other processes too. But the point here is that you really need to start by picking one, whatever that is for you. It really could be anything. It's just something that you practice 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes a day, maybe an hour a day. Depends on you, depends on what it is that you're trying to do, but you should have that consistency, and it's something that you do almost every single day. When you do one real practice every single day, you're sharpening your sword. You're keeping it so fresh and so clean. You stop reacting and you start choosing. you start implementing strategies, and you start to see the world come together. Then you create more momentum, and momentum is where the real magic starts to happen. But if you want to get there with the least amount of effort, you need to understand this next piece. The fastest path to results is internal alignment. When our heart and mind agree on something, buddy, it's gonna happen. That is the key and the special sauce that allows doors to open and allows us to live in a way that we're basically completely engaged and in the flow with. That inner alignment with us being completely sold on whatever it is that we're actively pursuing, that is where the gold is. If you want things to come easier, then they come a lot easier when your mind and your soul are wanting the same thing. And for me, this was something that I could never get. Like when I was in school, when I was younger, I thought there were two paths and I had to choose between them. Either the logical left brain path of conform or the right brain creative path of suffer and never make any money. And actually what winds up happening is you can actively bring these two hemispheres of yourself together. And when you align these two elements, you can literally do amazing, amazing things. This is what the esoteric is really teaching us in all forms, is to align our heart and mind, and they can want the same thing. And when they do want the same thing, we're motivated, we're excited, we're going toward our goal, and we don't have any resistance. We're just completely in the flow. We're completely aligned. We're aligned with our mission. We're aligned with outer intention, with what the universe wants, and we begin to act on its behalf. We basically lose ourselves, lose our ego and our animal brain, and we start to operate from our higher self perspective. That's where alignment comes in. And this is where you can actively start to use the tools like Reality Transurfing, meditation, journaling, etc., to sharpen that awareness and to be able to stay in that state for longer and longer periods of time. Basically, that's what we want to try and do, is integrate ourself, both hemispheres of who we are, and begin to act that out in the world. That's when we're bringing our deepest sense of self, our true purpose. It's when we're doing something that benefits not only us, but also the world at large. That's when our heart and mind are in alignment. Your heart sings and your mind rubs its hands with glee. That's the ticket to true transformation and spirituality that is going to transcend watching videos on YouTube. Ironically, I do hope that you've enjoyed watching this video on YouTube, and I hope that you'll check out some more of what I have put together. If you did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll join us in the school group. I do coaching calls in there, and we can engage live one-on-one. I'd love to see how we could work together. Hop in the school group, and we'll see you guys in the next video.